Slide. Yeah, say next slide. Yeah.
Technology, Mike?
Yeah.
No, no. So has anybody read the new evaluation manual or looked at the new form? 1, 2, 3. Okay, we got a couple. So we made a lot of changes to the new form. We're gonna have one form this year for JV and next.
You did it.
Yeah.
You said
So and we changed the dates, the deadlines, and so like I said, one form for JV and varsity this year. So hopefully that'll be easier. Next, let's do the form. A lot of the other stuff is just monotonous, same stuff. You know, as far as the bottom 5 and the top 5, we haven't been implementing that in the last couple of years, so that's going back in action. Next. This year, the evaluations, we're going to do 2 video and 3 input. Hopefully that works out. We got Huddle now as an account for the BMBOA, so hopefully all the schools are all on board with uploading videos, so hopefully that will be more efficient.
Can I add something to that?
Go.
If you want an account on Huddle, you can have one as well to access the film if you just want to watch film as well. We can set that up.
I was going to say that too. You can also access your games and go watch them and stuff like that. Which is a great tool.
Yes, Moss?
I want access.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Email rec at TMDOA, I'll get you set up.
And the live evaluators, you can get evaluated by the same person twice, as long as it's a different crew, different game, obviously, different teams. So if you see second, it's good. We're going to go on that. And as far as playoff observations, you only get one, and it has to be the fifth. So if you're not available during the regular season, that's on you. Laughing about back there.
Okay. We good?
Yep, and one more thing, which is a big thing, that your interpolating score, nobody's going to interpolate to 106 no more. 99.9 is the best you can do.
It's the lowest they can do. I'm asking for a friend.
For yourself? Well, you are 69. Everybody else is 80.
I'm asking for a friend.
Okay, thanks. Next.
Hey, Mike, what, on the, video eval, will we know that's happening?
You will not know what's happening.
What's that now?
You will not know what's happening, but we're telling all the video evaluators, you have to be sent the information within 7 days of the evaluation. I don't know if, so like last year I got one like a month after the evaluation, which I think kind of pointless at that.
Are you evaluating during a stack night?
It's the same stipulation as the live one, so not doing stacks. And if it's after you've done a JV game or you're with a JV official, just send me an email and we'll get you a replacement.
Unless you like it.
Unless you like it. It's up to you if you want the replacement. If you don't send me an email and want the replacement within 7 days, guess what? You're living with us. You good with that?
Not really.
Well, you don't have a choice. So the sheet, we kind of simplified the sheet, and I had like 8 people help me redo this, and we kind of, I thought we put it in order of importance as far as how we're going to calculate your scores. So, anybody, you good with all that stuff?
Yeah, it looks great.
It looks great.
Good.
But we're going to put all this on the website. If you want to go look at it, of course, and then you can get sheets at the end of the night. Next.
You're going over each one or just?
No, we're not going over each one. If people want to go home on Sunday night. Right? Where is she? I told you I was going to be quick.
Make sure you tell them about being in the right position. Make sure you use the right.
That too. So, in Arbiter, when you see crew chief, U1, U2, be in the right spot. If you don't know, you need to check your manual as far as where you need to be. Because when the video evaluator looks at it, they're going to look at Arbiter, they're going to look at the crew chief, U1, U2, and they're going to know, that's how they're going to know who you are.
And a photo too.
And put your photo in. If you don't have one. Not a Mickey Mouse either. A photo of yourself.
Mike.
You indicated that some of the deadline dates were changing.
One of the dates is the ding date, which was the 17th. Is that going to be extended?
Whatever the ding date is in there, is the same. What the new manual, is that the new manual?
I printed this today.
That's whatever's in there now is what's up to date.
So
So,
when he's saying it was the 17th, which is 2 days ago, are we gonna,
obviously, it's gonna be December 1st now. So, 'cause John, I don't know why John hasn't sent that out yet, but that's not, John should have sent it. So, anybody who wants to ding someone, ding them and let John know right away.
oh, ding you or something?
What are you gonna ding me for?
You want them?
I ding you for
You know, so you have the evaluation forms?
I have forms.
Okay, you can get those.
If you want one, you can get one. Any other questions? I got an envelope for you and Ike.
All right, we're gonna talk about the new DEI protocol for discrimination and harassment. No, I'm good.
Talk about
Okay.
it.
Okay, all right.
There you go.
All right, so we need to remember a few things here. The three most important things to remember is to apply the NFHS rules for penalties. Sorry. NFHS rules should be enforced and penalized appropriately, including ejections. Officials need to follow the following process and repeat if necessary. So if you hear something that can be pertaining to a racial slur, can you go to the next slide?
The next one?
Yeah, the next one. No. There we go. Okay. So what can be considered as harassment, racial slurs, religious, anything regarding their religion, gender, sexual orientation, etc. You need to stop the game. Now let's go back.
How far?
There we go. Okay. So what do? You alert your partner in game management. So you have to stop the game, inform the coaches and captains, have them go back and inform their teams. Okay? And then report the incident to the assigner at the end. So what really needs to happen is if you hear something, you need to stop the game, inform the players and the coaches, inform the captains and the coaches. They take it back to the team. The game management gets involved, and you guys need to resolve the matter, then resume the game. If another occurrence happens, you do the same process again.
So Lena, this is if it's happening on the court or is it happening from the stands?
Court.
Thank you.
But if it happens in the stands, they will let us.
Yeah. Go to that part.
We took that one.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
You want mine then?
Yeah, let's do that.
There you
Okay. So, all right. So, okay. So you hear the behavior reported to the event staff. Official alerts the game management. Official stops the game, sends the team to their coaches, to their benches. You alert your crew, and then the officials explain to the coaches and captains, and then coaches explain to the team. And then once the matter is resolved, the game will resume. After that occurrence happens, you need to let John know that this has occurred at the end of the match. You don't stop the game at all. If this process happens again, you do the same process again. So what has happened in the past in the fall sports, officials were allowed to end the game. And what's happened now with the new protocol is the game will not be stopped unless game management makes that decision. It's not up to the officials to end the game. And that is the big difference that the WA Executive Board wants everyone to be aware of. That officials cannot end the game. It has to be game management. Any questions regarding that piece?
Is this stuff going to be up on our website? Can we put it up on our website?
So there's a couple things. On the way out, there's a little FedEx box that has the printout from the WI. So on one side is the policy, and on the flip side is a flow chart that the WI put together. We will go ahead and I'll post these up on the website because their flow chart did not work for me mentally this does, because at the end of the day, there's three scenarios, right? Our responsibilities remain the same, just in a game. When something happens, you stop the game and you start the game, and at some point, something happens in between. We alert whoever we need to, or they tell us, we inform the coaches, we report at the end of the game. Like, every single time, that's what we need to do, right? Sometimes the order of the steps changes because it's not us hearing it. It may be a coach or player telling us. It may be game management telling us something happened in the stands. But once that happens, it's either game management alerting us or us alerting them, informing the coaches and the captains, starting the game up, reporting back to John at the end of the game. And if you kind of just focus on those three things, you do those things, and every single time it will work out. You may screw up the order, right? But as long as those things happen, we will be fine in doing what they've asked us to do.
What levels of basketball are we talking about? All levels?
All
Middle school?
scholastic levels.
Huh?
All scholastic levels.
All small.
School ball.
I'd probably say have your partner with you too, and talk to coaches and stuff.
Yeah, we should need to, we're gonna go way back there, and I'm gonna go here and there.
Do you know what happened the last couple of weeks? Because the beginning of the football season, it was screaming, we killed the game. And then we got an email that said it could be up to 30, 40, 50.
Yeah,
That we can't do that.
that's correct.
Do you know why they decided to take that away from us?
They have their,
I do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there was an incident in Spokane where they stopped the game. There was an incident on this side where they stopped the game, and it turned into a big to-do, so they got together and decided that we cannot stop the game.
It was basically because, I think you guys said it before, it was turning into a gamesmanship thing where people were saying stuff just to get the process started, even though it may not have really occurred, or, and that made them stop the game, and it was actually to the advantage of the team who was complaining. So they decided, rightfully so in my opinion, take it out of our hands. This is a game management issue.
Absolutely. Not be said.
So this is different for fans.
this is the players.
This is the players.
This is players.
But I think the part that's missing about the players that's up here is we penalize too.
That would be.
Right.
Go back to her.
That was the notes. It's right.
But you go back to the flagrant technical part. That's the part.
Yeah, what's adjudication? Well, I got a
Or
question.
you want to go back there? I see. I got you.
Yeah, go back to her actual.
Yeah, I'm getting there.
Yeah.
Hey,
So, member of team A says something to team B, that's a flagrant foul. Okay, member of team A says it to a teammate, okay? That can be a technical foul or upgraded to a flagrant, and that's up to you. Because apparently, you're allowed to say some phrases to your teammate that's more of a technical foul versus an opponent. I know there's a lot of maybes in here, or possibilities, but that is the information that was handed down. So member of team A says it to an official. What do you do? Flagrant technical foul. Okay? Member of team A says it, hears it from a fan, or it's said to a fan, sorry, it's a flagrant technical foul.
so do you have to hear it, or can it just be hearsay?
What would you do? Other stuff on hearsay in the game?
We
In
stopped getting at
football,
all.
hearsay.
Yeah.
Well, so this one is like, this scenario is, if you hear it, this is to me no different than someone taunting a player in a game and you're addressing it, right? You saw it, you know that have action, you know which player did it. If someone comes up and tells you, I personally think that's a slippery slope getting into.
Well, that's why, that's the reason we stopped the games in football is that we didn't hear it. We would just throw the players out if we did.
This is what happened.
Yeah, but this is more of an.
I know, but this is what the changes that.
Right.
Right,
So
the whole
the
idea
difference
behind
is,
it
so the
was
hearsay
for
part of
warning.
it, excuse me, the hearsay part of it is, that's where you're following the process. Okay, if some coach or some player comes up to you and says, hey, this guy called me this, this is where we stop the game, we inform, we report, and, make sure the game manager knows, and then we start the game back up.
We don't give a technical.
But we don't give technical fouls for hearsay. We're not stopping the game for hearsay. We're allowing game management to take care of the hearsay part of it all. But if we hear it ourselves, if we witness ourselves, any of these things going on, this is what we do. Does that make sense?
So the kid comes up to you and says, hey, this kid said this to me.
I'm pulling the captains together, letting the coaches know, getting game management involved, and then we'll start the game again.
It's
We're not
hearsay.
penalizing.
It's hearsay.
But we're not,
Right, but it doesn't matter, we're not penalizing, we're raising the awareness that this is going on, but we are not penalizing.
yeah, the penalty only happens when it is seen or heard by an official. In all other scenarios, there is no function for a penalty in that flow chart. It's just a process.
And if it's player the same team player, then it's just a process.
No, player to their own team, and you hear it.
You hear it.
It's a technical foul that you can't upgrade your player if you want.
Oh, now swearing's different. So swearing's a different part of the process, right? Because that's not discriminatory, that's just somebody dropping an F-bomb, and I think you've got a slide about that too.
The way, someone explained to me a couple weeks ago, especially when it's the team-on-team stuff, it's not, we should be approaching it not about who it's being said to, but where it is being said. And the WOA does not want these things happening in their sport. So it is a where function, even though it could be two teammates talking to each other. That helped me kind of get through this stuff a bit. Want to give you an example? All right.
I have a question though. My question is reporting to John after the game. So if we have 4 incidences, do we have to report four different incidents, or do we just say there was 4 incidents in this game? Or do we have to report them separately?
I think you just report that this happened and I had to stop the game 4 times. No, actually, you should send him an email, because you could put it on the game report, but he's gonna ask for more details, so I would send him an email.
And if you have an objection, you do need to call them too.
The objection is important, yeah. But we have 4 stoppages.
Objection reports that you-
We have
If you
4
put it in the
stoppages. We
comments,
can just
then-
say it's stopped 4 times. We don't gotta say stop the first time for this reason, second time for that reason, or third time for that reason. So,
Yeah.
I think we should,
Yeah, exactly.
How
Just
that
factual
information.
information, give them that.
I didn't.
Yes, sir.
Earlier we mentioned about officials cannot stop contests. And I'll admit, I haven't opened my book yet, but don't we have a rule in the book about official discretion if the game gets crazy, or did they take that out? Yeah, I believe that, unless they took it out, because I haven't read the rule book yet, but I just want to make sure that we understand what I'm hearing is if that rule is still in there, what you just said now, that rule should be rescinded. Is that right?
I think let me ask me to help Celine with this. On this, I'm thinking very narrowly about these scenarios that they've been asked to apply, so I don't know that they take away any other tools if this scenario is not what's being covered.
Well, I think what you're talking about, I think it is 5-4, where it talks about the referee can forfeit a game if the team refuses to play, any player or team member fails to comply with a technical foul penalty, or other acts which make a travesty of the game. But I would hope that by the time you get to that point, that game management has been readily involved in there, and hopefully they will agree.
So on that note, and I don't need to go into a lot of detail, but I know last year there was a particular issue with a certain high school that no matter what the officials did, or even the school administration, the students continued to act like toddlers. So I'm just looking at it from that point that, as we're all sitting here talking about this, I'm not saying we go in there with the mindset of we're going to cancel the game, but I am going to say that at some point, if we have the administration that doesn't want to do anything with the students, and the students want to fight more than want to play basketball, that at some point, I'm thinking of our safety as officials, and at some point, if the administration doesn't do anything about canceling the game, obviously, when you have that level of tension, that I just want to make sure we all understand, we need to do something rather than sit there and run the risk of getting ourselves injured or watch someone else get injured. I don't know how they're going to run that, but if that rule is still there, I think we need to make sure we're all clear on that.
I think anytime you have a safety concern, I absolutely are, that, I
Okay.
think that you can employ that rule.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that, but I mean, what I was hearing earlier is that we don't have, it seems, that's why I want to bring the question forward. that
Well,
we
but
don't have.
this is about the discrimination stuff.
Okay,
versus
then
safety.
I stand
That's
corrected.
what it is,
I
it's a
stand corrected.
discrimination
Okay,
part,
all
that
right.
if that is reported X number of
Look at rule
times.
2.8 and then the note. It'll tell you what you're asking in there. In rule 2.8, officials additional duties, and then there's a note, it addresses what you're talking about in there.
You want to read the rule?
Well, I mean, you want to get the answer. If not, hey, I could even it.
I'm good.
What's that? I mean, there's two examples, I feel like we've kind of covered a little bit on the profane side, right? When you go back, there's a list of stuff, it's discriminatory stuff. If it's just profanity, it's a technical. If it turns into profanity plus a discriminatory statement, right, then it becomes a flagrant technical. So just the presence, I guess just the presence of profanity doesn't invoke the process, but if it's profanity plus discrimination, we go there. This is an example that we pulled out just on taunting. Again, first scenario is something that we experienced. It says no change, but they flex and they use discriminatory language. Then we start the process. So I mean, this is new ground. It took me a bit to process this, but at the end of the day, it's like there's things about our jobs that don't change, right? But what happens is if we just alert, inform, and report when the things happen, we're going to cover our bases, right? Know who you need to alert, game management, inform the coaches and players, or coaches and captains, they take care of their players. That stuff happens. We get back on with the game. We report it in the game. And the guidance that I think it sounds like we've given right here is if you have 4 events, be as descriptive as possible on those 4 events as you can when you send that information to John, because more information that you have, the better. Anything else you wanted to cover? Okay. Any more questions? It's new ground. I have a feeling we'll probably have no more questions at the next meeting after we get a few of these under our belt. Cool. Oh, one more. Yeah.
So regarding the game management, do we need to tell game
Yes.
management?
If it's us hearing, now you make it a scenario where game management is where, and they will alert us, then we go. We've already been, so they've alerted us, then we inform, and then we start the game and we report.
So you may hear something, we alert the coaches?
Alert the game manager. Inform the coaches and captains.
You know, and that's one of the reasons why you want to, when you show up at these gyms, make sure you introduce yourself to the game manager. They're not always going to come find you, so be proactive and go shake the person's hand. Find out where they're going to be sitting during the game, so if you do have this situation pop up, you know where to find them and take care of business in that order. There's nothing worse than having a problem and like, who's the game manager? Because we didn't do our job.
Randy has a question.
The thing is, I've assumed that all the schools, all the school leagues have been formed and they're aware of all this that's going on. And from hearing from others, they've been wanting this, they know about it, and they want this control. So we need to act and enforce it.
Okay.
All right, then last stuff, whatever, anything you want to cover on the rec?
So I'll just,
No, I took it out.
okay, well, John's update. Complete your availability, make sure you're certified, make sure you are ready to be assigned, blocks and everything. He's already started assigning, he has, from what I can tell, he has pretty much the rest of November assigned, so he's kind of on the ball here. So as soon as I am done with with my Saturday assignments for next week. He's gonna be releasing assignments. So those of you who have given me availability for next weekend's tournament, thank you. Those of you who have not, please email me, because John is waiting on me to finish my assignment so that he can publish his assignment. Because we are working together, we are a team. So I'm gonna have some of you working for John, and then you're gonna be working for me. We're both working together to get this all covered. So that's one thing. Tournaments, I have 2 tournaments this weekend. We only had 1 initially, but we have 2. Right now, I am hurting on the Saturday. I need more availability on Saturday the 25th. AM spots are taken. I need afternoon and evening right now. I haven't even looked at Sunday yet, but I do need more availability. And as far as the tournaments, we are still paying the tournaments through arbiter pay within 72 hours. So that's after the end of the tournament. I'm gonna have ETL league starting up, so update your blocks. With the ETL, I'm not sure what the schedule is gonna look like because they have one person doing the scheduling for the boys side and the girls side. There might be some girls games thrown in there only because of scheduling. So hopefully I'm able to figure out which games they are, and I'll put it in the notes section so you know which game is a girls game versus a boys game. So if it's a girls game, you'll see a note. If there's no notes, that means it's a boys game. All right.
And if it's a girls' game, just check with the rules, because the girls' rules are different.
Yeah, slightly different. Any questions for me? Update your blocks. Give me availability.
You mean open your box.
Open your blocks.
Open your box.
Yeah.
24/7.
And respond to my emails, please.
Okay, so another tweak with arbiter pay. We're going to change the assessment process. This effective for rec games you've not been paid isn't totally right yet. So what we're going to is a $250 per official per game fee away from the 7%, right? You can see over there, kind of it means for the most commonly worked stuff is like 20, stacked 20-minute games is going to be a few cents different a game. You're not going to see the assessment that on your check anymore. We're going to take it out before. So what is our posted rate is what you are going to get. And in all cases, the net is the same or more than it was before. The thing here is we're having some struggles with the folks at Arbiter Pay. For those of you that may do computer software, it's amazing what we have to go through to get a number changed that I should be able to do. And so we thought it would happen this week. You still may get assessed for games this week at 7%, but no, you're just like, we're talking like 12 cents or something a game. Sorry, we're trying. But we think this is a better way to go. It's how we get paid for school, the assessments out of there. You guys stay whole or better, and it should simplify the process for that stuff. It's just a matter of when we get a flip on the switch, which is far too far out of our control right now. Anybody on the committee updates? We did evals already. Tony, did you want anything? Where's Tony for?
No, any problem, contact me, appreciate it, John, text me, whatever.
Tony Ford. Yes, there you go. Randy, anything from the apprentice program?
Well, before next general membership meeting, we'll have a press meeting for all the apprentices, just to catch up and see what you guys are seeing out there. So, I think next meeting, date the next meeting.
9th or something.
December 9th, so it'll be 9 o'clock in the morning, so we'll be at 8:30.
Moz, do you have anything from the recruiting front you want to talk about?
No, word of mouth, recruit, tell friends. Recruit.
Definitely, recruit. You got to fill that pipeline. Any other board members that I missed that wanted to talk? No, you don't want to talk again.
It's almost 8:30, brother.
I got you.
Let's roll.
Well, El Presidente, anything that you'd like to some parting words you'd like to leave us with?
Yes, good night.
Well, I'll get there. So first, I'll just stand here and get it done quick. First, I want to thank all of you who came out here tonight for a Sunday night meeting. Thank you very much. I am so pleasantly surprised to see the amount of people that came here to listen to these four coaches. I thought it was very worthwhile to hear what they had to say at the different experience level and stuff like that. That was really awesome. So I appreciate you taking time tonight to come out and make yourself a better official. I think that that's awesome. And then who's worked rec tournament the past 2 weekends? Just raise your hand if you've worked games this past weekend.
I raced on Casey Davidson too.
Okay.
I see it every weekend.
I hear you documented on your blog.
Yes.
Chuck and Casey
So with that,
Instagram.
thank you, Chuck. So with that, thank you for helping out the association, because working rec ball is actually kind of what helps us get the money we need to run the association. So what I would ask is, if you didn't raise your hand, be able to raise your hand after next weekend. Selima needs bodies out there. I know that we got people who like working 10, 12 games in a day, but to be honest with you, we're not as good. So if I can get somebody, 6 to 8 games and somebody else 4 games, that's actually better for our association. It makes us look better and has the customers wanting to use us, because we're asking a premium price out there for our officiating services. And to get that premium price, we need to put a premium product out there and make sure these leagues want and tournaments want to use us. And with that, good night, everybody. Thank you. Update your blocks.
Clear blocks.
It's certified. And board meeting over there.
Welcome back, brother.